Oh my goodness, is right. Good Wednesday morning. For
Oh,
those of you who still have calendars on your desk or wall, today is the day to make the big flip. It's the first day of the 10th month, also known as October. Just FYI, Christopher Columbus on this date had already set sail and was on his way to the New World. We will celebrate his 1492 event on the 13th of this month, another Monday federal holiday.
oh.
Question: if the government is shut down at that time, will federal employees be given holiday pay plus back pay for the day they did not work twice?
Um, yes. Well, they'll get their holiday pay for sure.
Yeah, but will they get other pay? Oh,
Um,
don't know.
well, let's
Word
hope it doesn't
is
last
that
that
we
long.
will have a calm, cool, and collected Wednesday today. No promises about having a day when everything is relevant or anything is relevant. I'm Rayford Brown, and we think we have Lee under control as we kick off live and local real talk, a day we will remember for at least a couple of days.
You should have never said that. But anyway, good morning. I'm Lee Barrels,
Yeah,
and it's hump
it is
day.
hump day. Bring out the camels. Parade out. We need a parade of camels around here every Wednesday.
Mikey, what day is it?
Okie dokie. Well, I guess everybody's sleeping in this morning.
It was very quiet this morning, not the usual traffic on the
Well,
radio either.
you got the shutdown.
Yes, well, they're sleeping in.
7 hours old.
They're sleeping in. The civil service workers were sleeping in this
Randy
morning.
did not. Randy was still up and about this morning
Yes.
talking about the weather. And well, we'll hear from some of you folks. Just going to have some smart alecky remarks all morning. Of course, you can count on that. As you know, you can just imagine how it is. Uh, I guess we'd start out with that first of all. We're still here,
Yes, we are.
even with the threat of another federal shutdown. We've become so accustomed to those threats year after year after year after year that we just didn't really care. Exactly what would happen when the despicable bunch of do nothing political dogs were not able to come up with some sort of a plan to run the country? Well, I guess we're going to find out. We will not be brought to our knees. I don't care what happens up there. We, the people, will not be brought to our knees. The government will continue working. Is there anyone today that believes the shutdown crisis will bring this country to a standstill? No, that's not going to.
Mm-mm.
A lot of grandstanding is going to occur. Some deals, backroom deals, are going to be made. Things will be back to the abnormal state of normal that they've been for decades. 2 inches of snow on the ground in Jacksonville in January will have more of an impact than the threats our
It's
elected
true.
politicians offer us year after year after year.
Yeah.
With snow, schools closed, banks closed, you won't be able to get a haircut, and surgeons would stop performing anything but emergency services. Right?
That's
They
right.
wouldn't do anything else. Everyone at the top of the food chain would still get paid. The difference between a light snow in eastern North Carolina and a government shutdown is that when the snow melts, the people who could not report for work because their businesses were closed would not get paid for those days that they did not work. The daily grind would resume as life returned to normal, with only those workers who really need every dime that they can make still suffering. At least with the government shut down until the politicians agree on a budget, only government employees will not get paid. Some government employees will not get paid, but they will get their money for not working
Yes,
when
they
the
will.
government is back in business.
Yes, they will.
I wonder. I wonder if I was scheduled for a paid vacation during an upcoming shutdown, would I get paid twice for the days that I did not work? Once for the vacation and once for the shutdown days that I didn't actually work.
No.
If that's the case, mark me down for a vacation every year from the 1st of October through about the 10th of October, just in case. I'd put it in every year's vacation so I'd get paid twice.
This is the dilemma. If you scheduled a vacation, like, say, for Friday, all
Mhm.
right, but the government is shut down, Do you take the chance and say, cancel my vacation date so you don't get charged vacation for a day that you're not going to work if we're still on shutdown and you're going to get paid anyway?
That's a situation,
That's
y'all.
a situation right there.
Who knows? Really essential people, no legislators, nor their staffs will be allowed to work under my plan. I've got a plan.
Okay.
Nobody gets to work, okay, except the really essential staff. Law enforcement,
Right.
obviously, our military. Yes, they're all going to be working. The VA would be required to work. That would be a prime thing right there. But the legislators, their staffs, go home. Come back to work when you guys can work out some kind of a deal by telephone and come back and take a vote. Postal workers should stay home. Maybe hold on. Maybe if nothing else, mail that does not get delivered to even the government people, I bet you the government would say, whoa, something's got to give here.
But we're considered essential.
I would, if I was the boss, I'd stop that. There will be no catch-up pay when the shutdown ends.
What?
No catch-up pay. You don't get paid unless you work. If you have accrued vacation days, you can take the vacation time during the shutdown and you get paid for it as a vacation time, of course. That becomes your vacation for the year. Maybe the massive number of government workers who will actually lose their pay, confronting Republican and Democrat legislators, and make them understand that a big part of their job is to develop, then adopt a budget that the president will sign. They've got this to do every year. Every year, they've got the same deadline, 1 October, to get a budget. That is one of their primary missions in this country because they steal enough money from the rest of us all year long that they should be able to figure out a way to spend it, right? They're going to have to agree on it. There is no, now you can't wait on it. There should be one person at the top. I would probably nominate me. But there would be one person at the top that would say, if y'all can't agree on this budget, then I will sign a budget or I will present a budget to POTUS and he can sign it. And nobody will have any input but me. You want to bet that it wouldn't get done? Somehow you've got to get the attention of these people. That is their main job throughout the year, is to fund the entire government, to keep our government working.
Okay, so according to you, if you were a government worker and the government shut down, you're saying you shouldn't get paid for sitting at home.
That's correct.
But is it your fault that the leaders of this country can't come together?
It doesn't matter. They don't get paid either. But the pressure that the government workers would bring on our legislators,
right,
and the rest of the country would bring on our legislators would be more than our legislators could understand. And maybe at that point in time, with elections generally right around the corner, we might do some purging.
But think about it, right? For our legislators, they're not compensated hourly. They are salary. So whether they're there or not, they're going to get their paycheck.
Cut it.
Well,
I will tell you, cut it. Just take it back.
I have a little information here for you. The Government Employee Fair Treatment Act of 2019.
I understand all of what's there.
Says it requires federal employees to be compensated after a shutdown. It guarantees that federal employees affected by a shutdown, furlough, and those who work during the lapse in funding will receive their retroactive pay once funding is restored. Is there
anything about that is in our Constitution? Then it can be changed.
It's part of our U.S. Code.
It can be changed. Laws are changed.
That's
our
true.
Codes are changed.
This was updated in 2019 based on the codified. It was codified at 31 USC 1341.
I don't care what it was done. It can be changed.
If you're a government worker, you're going to have a completely different attitude.
That's beside the point. I would want my government to do their job. If I'm out there doing my job, then I want my legislators to do their job. If they can't do their job, then get out. They've got to do this once a year.
It passed in the House. It passed in the House only because we had the majority. It went to the Senate yesterday. I had it on another screen all day. And It was not a full house. People were just coming and going at their pleasure.
If we just continue, okay, so they just get some time off, we'll bring each other to their knees. You got 535 babies that never grew up.
The problem is this is Republican versus
It does
Democrat,
not matter.
vice versa.
They
Both sides
each have
are
one
at fault.
vote. They each have one vote, and they're both at fault. So they can all take a vacation. Don't come to work. I'll decide what's going to be, which one of the budgets that's out there will be signed.
Well, I do have to say, it's interesting to watch it. You have Democrats like Fetterman. Fetterman voted for it.
Mm-hmm.
Schultz, what's it? Schumer. I'm sorry, Schumer. Oh, where did Schultz come from?
He
Schumer.
likes peanuts, I think.
He will vote against it
It doesn't matter.
If it says it's going to give gold to everybody, he will vote against it just
Here's
because
the way that could
it's
be,
a Republican boring bill.
Codified crap could be changed. If the Senate and the House cannot present to the president a budget, if they have not been able to agree on it, then the president and the vice president and pick one more, secretary, whoever of state, the three of them can get together, and the majority of that will win, and they will pick which budget to adopt, and it's over and done with at that point in time. Take it out of the hands of the legislators.
Right. Well, we've had
got it. I fixed it.
We've had previously 21 government shutdowns through the years. This makes number 22.
Big deal.
Range from when President Trump was in presidency before. You've got Barack Obama.
So he shut the government down twice. Is that what you're trying to blame him now?
Well, you've got Barack Obama. It was shut down during his term. Bill Clinton, George Bush, Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan probably had the most shutdowns. Goodness, great. Jimmy Carter. Going all the way
he ran out of peanuts.
Back to 1976, Gerald Ford, where it was shut down for 10 days. See, so, this is just a struggle between the two sides. One side wants this and one side wants that, and you've got some that will not budge no matter what.
Y'all, I got a question for you, a test. It's a lesson.
Ridiculous.
A lesson that a professor at a university gave. He asked his students one day, "Are you paying attention?" Because this is a test.
Yes.
It's a one-question test. You either get it right or you get it wrong. 100 or 0, right?
100 or 0.
So the question, he asked his students, if there are 4 birds on a tree and 3 of them decided to fly away, how many are left on the tree? It's a simple math question, right? 1
bird, yes, okay. But you're going to make this different.
No, I'm not going to make it difficult. I'm just asking you, if there are 4 birds on a tree and 3 of them decided to fly away, how many are left on the tree? 1. Everybody said that. Except one student. Except one student. He said, nope. There are 4.
There's always 1. Go ahead.
4 birds remain.
Why?
Oh, the students laughed. The professor said, explain yourself. It's simple. You said, the student said, you said that they decided to fly, but you didn't say they actually flew. Making a decision doesn't mean taking action. Indeed, that was the correct answer, of course. The story reflects the lives of some people. They have many slogans and catchy words, particularly in their campaign platforms. And they shine when they're in gatherings and among friends, but in reality, their lives do not reflect those words. I can't just think about all of the campaign BS that you've seen. Many people talk, but only a few actually act. Making a decision is one thing. Taking action is something else entirely.
Agreed.
I thought that was a very cool thing. It fits very something I heard a long time ago.
I like that. I like that story. Yes.
What is the definition of work? There's a real definition out there, but a lot of people will come in and say, I get out, and the question is asked of them, if you stand out there and you push just as hard as you can all day long, 8 hours, taking a break for lunch, 30 minutes for a break, right? But you
Right.
push against the wall of this house with your hands all day long. Are you going to be tired at the end of the day? You constantly are struggling and pushing, trying to move this house off its foundation. Is that work? No, it's not. Work is accomplishing something. That's the meaning of work. You accomplish something. You're not going to accomplish anything except to get tired, and that means you've failed. Because at the end of the day, you're tired and nothing is done that you intended or wanted to do, get done, then you're useless. That day is wasted. Can we relate that to our Congress, our House, and our Senate?
Yes. Most definitely.
Time and again and again
Most
and again and
definitely.
again.
Well, next time Greg Murphy calls in, I want to ask him how they go. I mean, I pretty much know by watching and following, but I want him to explain to everyone listening so everyone can understand that yesterday the Senate convened to vote on the, I guess, HR 5371 on the budget, on doing this, and don't think when they convene that all 100 senators are in there. They're not. They come in and out through the day.
They can vote all day long. That's worse than early voting. 3 weeks of early voting?
You can go down and go shopping and have lunch and come back later, get up and say, oh, I want to give a little speech why I support.
And still get paid for the whole day.
And then you give your little speech, and then they'll say, okay, well, we're going to vote at such and such time. So during that moment of, well, it's not a moment of voting. It's like an hour of voting. You come in long enough to give a thumbs up, thumbs down, then you walk back out, then you come back later. That's how the day goes. I don't know. Do you see other businesses or other corporations, having a vote like that? Yeah, we're going to have 8 hours. If you want to come in and argue your side, please come in. You've got so much time.
As much grief as we and the whoever's in power, all politicians give our media.
Right.
They give our media grief every day, right? We give our media grief every day. But guess what our media does every day? They show up. They go on the air at the same time every day. Are they late? They cannot be late. In a newsroom, if you've got the lead story that runs at 6 o'clock and you haven't got it ready in time to get it loaded into the system at 1 minute till 6 or 2 minutes till 6 o'clock,
right,
you've missed a deadline. And you know how bad what the decisions are about your future? That's not good. You better have more than an excuse. You better have a reason. And it better involve either your death or diarrhea. That's the only two that are acceptable. You understand? Not somebody else's death, yours.
That sounds familiar.
So I just don't have. Our media is there at 6 p.m. every day. They're not late. Right?
That's
They're
right.
not late.
No, they're not.
So when our media is more credible, and all they have to do, that they have got to do, the only real deadline, there's only that I can think of right now. There's only one real deadline for our legislature, right?
Right.
It's 10 October. It's 1 October at midnight on the 30th of September. Rolls over to 1 October. That is your deadline, Bubba.
Look, by 8:30, they had decided, yeah, we're done. They still had to midnight. They could have argued one more time. They could have taken one more vote. They could have gone out and duked it out in the hallway. Nope, they chose no, we're done. We'll be back tomorrow. And I'm like, okay.
I just don't have time for people that cannot meet a deadline when they've only got one a year that they've got to meet. Is there another deadline that they have to meet? Do you think they're going to be at the parties on time? Every day there's not a legislature that will be late for a party.
Well,
they might leave the session to go to the party. They have to leave the session in time, so if they're working in Washington, they will leave in time to go get their tux on and go to the party. I guarantee you that. But they can't get our budgets settled, and they got a whole freaking year to get it done. You're fired. All of you.
Well, North Carolina, they pretty much fight back and forth over our budget, but at
I-
least they
all-
get it done.
Yeah, all
They get
government
it
should be
done.
that way.
Yes.
This is not acceptable.
Well,
What the Onslow County Commissioners, the Jacksonville City Council, right? The what do we got? All of the other government. We got Richland, Swansboro, and Holly Ridge. Did I get them all? They all get their budgets done.
Yes.
Their budgets
Yes.
are done on
Top
time.
seller.
Otherwise, guess what? They got
Right.
a problem.
Right.
No,
And
it's
of
not
all the
acceptable.
budgets around, the county itself has the biggest budget.
It's
And
done.
as soon as they get it done and vote on it, they start working on the next year's. They don't wait. They put out a lot of work on
If
that.
if you didn't get everything that you thought you wanted in the budget for this year, then you need to move it to next year and campaign for it, work on it, make deals, do whatever you've got to do to get it done. But don't come in here and tell me that you got to close our government down because you were inept. Ineptness is nothing but an excuse. It's not a reason.
That's right.
Okay, I'm not through ranting, but we're going to do a weather break.
Okay.
Looking towards the deep blue sea today, the marine forecast is promising, but not for today. Dangerous conditions expected across area waters for the next few days, with impacts from Humberto and that other one, Imelda. Strong high pressure will build in from the north as gusty northeast winds continue. Out to 20 nautical miles today. Gale warning remains in effect through tonight. Offshore, northeasterly winds 25 to 30 knots with gusts to 35. Seas, they're still big out there, 8 to 11 feet, 5 to 7 the closer to shore you get. Sounds and rivers very rough. Remember, a fool and his boat can soon be parted. Take it out there and you'll see. Thursday, northeasterly winds 20 to 25 knots, gusts to 30. Seas 7 to 10 feet, 3 to 5 near shore. Sounds and rivers rough. Friday, northeasterly winds 15 to 20, gusts up to 30 knots on Friday. These winds are not going away fast. Seas 5 to 7 feet, 2 to 4 near shore. Sounds and rivers choppy. It's looking less worse, but it ain't good yet.
All right. Well, let's talk about on land. Today, cloudy, then becoming mostly sunny with a high near 79. Northeast wind 11 to 15 miles per hour with gusts as high as 25. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low around 57. Ooh. Thursday, mostly sunny with a high near 75. Almost said 95. I was thinking of Chris. Friday, mostly sunny with a high near 78. And Friday night football is going to be gorgeous. It's going to be partly cloudy with lows dipping during the night to 59. So
What's the high on Friday?
78. So we need to
Yes.
bring a jacket because once we get there, we're in the bleachers and that sun goes down.
Yeah, and we're going to
Newbern. We're going to Newbern. We're going to go watch the Cards smear the Bears.
Don't count your eggs before they get hatched, please.
No, that's called being positive.
Randy out there in the
Yes.
Southwest area. He's one of the members of the Onslow Amateur Radio Club, and I got a whole bunch of them that check in every morning, and they just sit there and chew the fat. It's called rag chewing. They shoot the breeze and other stuff in the morning hours on ham radio. If you guys are interested in that, you can listen on some of the old analog scanners. If you've got one hanging around, just punch it into 147.000 megahertz, and you get to listen to these guys chat each morning. Listen to us here too. Lady Blue's got her ticket now, so she's able to talk, not just listen. Randy's got in Southwest, he's got 65 degrees. Got the winds about 11 miles per hour this morning. Had a trace of water falling from the sky from yesterday. Joe down in the borough, he's off and headed over. I forgot, he goes to a Waffle Wednesday every week over in Carteret County
Makes me
somewhere.
hungry.
So he checked in before he got underway good, and it's 66 degrees in the borough, no rain. Lee, our back swamp Lee, 66 degrees there, 89% humidity, no rain. Craig, he's out in Richlands and he's on his way to work. I wonder if he knows that the government shut down. 67 degrees. Ken in Onslow Bay, 64 degrees, 82% humidity, no rain there either. Carol, That's Dale's wife.
I know. I heard her pop in this morning.
Carrolltown, she's over in River Bend. She and Dale are, and she said Dale was catching up on his beauty sleep or something like that. But anyway, Carol said it's 66 degrees there, 88% humidity, winds from the southeast, 2 to 3 miles an hour, and she had a trace of water falling from the sky, not enough to measure. So they're up there in River Bend. Ed, a new guy was checking in for a radio check this morning. He's over there between Maysville and Stella. And so I said, okay, what's the temperature there? So, Ed, thank you for jumping in here this morning. It's 66 degrees over that way. Lady Blue, wearing blue this morning, too.
How about that?
Lee, it's over in the Woodlands, which is in Northwoods.
Yes.
66 degrees, 81% humidity. Winds about 2 miles per hour from the southwest, and 0.01 inch of rain. Not a whole lot. Trace of rain. Here at the studio at that time, it was 63, 89% humidity. The winds were blowing from the west at 2 to 3, and there was no rain on the gauge. And the winds they're running about 4 miles an hour now, and they're coming from the west-southwest, and it's still 63 with 89% humidity.
Well, Rayford, one of our listeners sent in a joke just for you.
A joke for me.
Yes.
Okay.
Why do dogs like boating on sounds in rivers?
Dogs like to boat on sounds in rivers?
Yes. Why do they like boating on sounds in rivers?
Not a clue.
Because they're always rough.
Rough.
Thank you, Chris. It's dumb, but it's funny.
You laugh at his stuff. I said something dumb. You don't laugh.
No, I don't. I laugh at you. That one you sent last night was really good. Really
stormy
good.
times, and not my cat. Stormy weather type stuff out there with winds of 90 miles per hour this morning. Hurricane Imelda has bypassed North Carolina. Good.
Yes.
And is moving northeast as predicted by the National Hurricane Center and not the spaghetti models at 12 miles per hour with Bermuda in her sights at this time. That island nation is preparing for Imelda's arrival in about 14 hours. Then there's Humberto moving now towards the northeast. Finally made the turn off the northern coast of Bermuda and heading towards the northeast, packing winds of 80 miles per hour. Remember that storm had winds of 160 miles per hour.
Yes,
over this past weekend. Yeah, 80 mile per hour winds now. Humberto continues to weaken and will sail off into the sunset probably tonight.
Thank you, Umberto, for taking care of Imelda.
Most of those along the coast of North Carolina and the surrounding states are lucky. The only thing is that we were left to deal with were heavy surf conditions and dangerous rip currents, but up yonder on the Outer Banks, as anticipated, I knew it was going to happen sooner or later, as did everyone else. 5 more beachfront homes are down to the count. Wow, 5 more. They were unoccupied, damaged beyond repair by earlier storms, so it was only a matter of time, and time arrived yesterday. Most of the high surfs should dissipate by Thursday or Friday. They're coming down, but it's still not time to get out there on the ocean. And don't go swimming either, please. The rip currents are ridiculous. They're up and down. They've had at least one man down in Florida. I think he was from out of state. He got caught, and in his 50s, he got caught in a rip, and he's dead. That's just, rip currents and RIP.
Yes.
Think about it.
Real quick on that note, I'll do this. A lot of people were commenting on the homes being, the waters and the waves beating them and tearing them down. And they were complaining like, why didn't the people do something about them before this happened? First of all, insurance does not cover moving your home.
That's right.
Insurance does not cover tearing it down. Once the home is in the water and in pieces, the insurance will cover it. That's why you see people wait until it's destroyed.
They can't move them.
That's right.
They don't move very well. And by the time they get that much damage.
Yes.
And then, of course, a lot of times they get water lapping underneath them on high tide. So it's really difficult to do that. And tearing them down is expensive.
Yes,
dangerous
it
and
is.
expensive,
And moving them.
and moving it is virtually impossible.
Right.
Hurricane season, just a reminder, is still open for 2 more months. But and don't forget, back on this month, just 2 weeks into this month, back in 1954, the storm of the century, Hurricane Hazel, left
Oh,
behind a
wow.
wide path of death and destruction in eastern North
It's horrible.
Carolina. If you're new to the region, consider this a good practice season for you. While it's still fresh in your memory banks, make some notes as to what you should do when a storm is
Mhm.
moving your way.
Well, you have Dr. Rose. Should be her on line 1 and 2.
Okay, Steve, if you don't mind, sir, we do have Dr. Rose on the line. So for a schedule, if you can just give her a call
Yeah.
back in about 10 minutes
Please
or
call
so,
us back,
that would be
yes.
great. Steve, thank you. We appreciate it. From down there in the borough, Dr. Rose, how are you?
Doing well. Good morning to everybody.
Good morning. We're still here. Yay.
Yay, we're here. I don't know what happened to that Imelda, but she just decided to go out to sea.
She's chasing after her man. Chasing after Umberto.
That's right. She's a floozy.
I'm glad the floozy's going on away from us. It's pretty powerful
They're
right
all
now.
upset because I said floozy.
Yeah,
I like
Are they
it
there?
though.
yeah, we're here. Can you? What? Hold on.
Rayford's dialing you
I
up.
was making
I'll
adjustments
drop
over here.
off and call right back.
Can you hear me now? Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. She's going to call you right back. All right.
We got her on a better line here. Good morning again.
Much
Good
better.
morning. I hope everybody's okay. I said, they didn't like that I said that Imelda's a floozy.
Imelda is definitely a floozy chasing after Humberto. Not going to
I
catch him
know.
because he's going to die first.
Oh,
Well, that's a pretty...
Rayford.
Maybe. I don't know. Umberto seems a little strong, but that's all right. He's one of those Latin men. He runs 2 gals and then runs away from them.
There you go. So, okay, I guess I got a bone. I guess I need to go ahead and pick with you.
All right. You do that.
Last week at this point in time, I was asking you, or we asked you, or you volunteered. I don't know which it was. How are things? And you said that some people have got some kinds of some have COVID, some have this, and they have that, and some, sinus infections or something that we don't have a definition for yet. Whatever it was, and the next day, guess what I had? I had one of those undefined. I had one of those undefined things. Sinus on the right side was running like you wouldn't believe. Went through an entire box of Kleenex, and part of it was on the air. My goodness gracious! Then I developed a sore throat on the right side only. It was like, God, do I have the mumps here just on one side or what? And it felt like, a friend of mine down in the Carolina Beach, we were talking over the weekend. He had the same thing. He started his on Friday, but we didn't come within 60 miles of each other, so it couldn't have been me on him, right? We got that. But he, like me, we used to carry a badge and do things right together. But he said, you know what? Remember pepper spray? And I said, oh, yeah. He said, my throat felt like somebody had sprayed the inside of my throat with pepper spray.
Huh.
And if you've never been sprayed with pepper or never smelled it or never gotten into it, whew, yuck. You just can't imagine how rough that is.
Okay. And so when did you start feeling better? And what did you do?
I nothing except drank as much fluids as I could. I made some clam chowder and I put a little extra spice in it, and and got a few got a few chunks of stuff out. It just coughed up, but it was like I had it was almost like a pneumonia type of thing when I was coughing. I didn't cough much.
Oh, that's terrible.
When I did cough, his clump came out. Now,
well,
what you having for breakfast this morning?
Stop.
not that. Definitely not
So
that.
anyway, I gave you credit for me having that.
It's not your fault, Dr.
Well,
Rose.
I'm sorry that you caught that over the airwaves. I certainly didn't mean to give it to you.
No.
I'm glad that you got better on your own. We tend to think that most bacterial processes that it takes longer to get them better, and without an antibiotic you might not get better. So maybe that was a virus. because it went away on its own, even though it sort of sounds bacterial with all the junk in there.
It does.
Yeah.
I was about ready to go.
But if you didn't do anything and didn't bump up your immune system, and it still went away, and it went away rather quickly, I guess, it might have been viral. And you're just having one of those smugly things that, that's going around, and you fought it and you beat it. So I'm glad you beat it.
It's called the crud, and I did not leave the house from Friday until Tuesday. Yeah.
Wow.
Other than here, I stayed right to the studio. I never started my Jeep from Friday afternoon until Tuesday.
I'm glad you feel better.
I feel a lot better. I didn't feel really bad. It was just that crud. Makes you feel like crud. So anyway, I don't know whether that's the kind of stuff you were seeing or saying that little kiddies were having and other people were having or not. So
it is similar. We got quite a few kids seen that were sick on Monday. Died down yesterday. Let's see what happens today. But quite a few of them had, the cruddy stuff. So that is what's going on around, and most of them do not test positive. They were mostly negative. They do. I diagnosed them with sinus infections, and they do get better within a day or two. Is it from the treatment, or is it just because they were going to get better? It might be a combination of both.
Right. Well,
so if it lasts, my rule of thumb is if it lasts more than a couple of days and it's not getting better, that's the time to call your doctor.
Yeah, it's hard to do that on a weekend.
Okay.
Yes, that's right. Got to wait for that Monday.
It's always a weekend. Always a weekend.
Yeah, no, and I don't want to go to the ER. There's a lot of sick people there. That's all the ERs have is sick people.
Dr. Rose, I have a question, and I'm trying to decide how to ask this. Do you think with the recent growth of people using AI, do you think it's affecting the way that people self-diagnose? And do you foresee it being an interference with doctors trying to treat patients?
Yes and yes. I think it's going to be a problem because people will think that they know everything because they think that AI knows everything. AI is just a conglomeration of all the facts that's out there, all the facts that are out there, and they're making the 98%. Let's say not guess, but the most probable decision or outcome. And so on the side of the person, they're going to think that they know what AI has told them, and therefore not have to do other things that make more sense or have been proven. On the side of the doctor, I can already see the danger because that's how medical students are studying now. They are studying through the web. They press in a question and they get the answer, and so nothing sticks. And they're allowed to actually come up with the answers or study this way. So it's very concerning from where we'll be going. I stay off of AI stuff just because that's not the way that I was told. So I'm like an old fogey girl. But I just don't see it working very well because there's nothing in everything that we do. There's nothing like experience, and that gut feeling after you've done it and you've done it and you've done it. But if these kids that are in medical school and early in their training period don't have a gut feeling, and everything is based on what the web tells them, you lose a huge chunk of what makes you good at anything, at any profession, whether it's engineering or just even being, your janitor or a trash person. You get that feeling of, no, that's not going to fit. No, that's not going to do the right thing. And if you don't use your brain for it and you don't use your experience, you're not going to do your career and your community a service.
Very good.
I look at the AI, and because up here on this Google thing that I've got open right now, it says AI mode. And everything that I type in there, asking questions or just looking for information, it goes to an AI explanation when it sounds so left wing politically motivated explanation, and it will discount obvious facts in a lot of cases. And I'm like, really? And you ask certain questions, and it goes in a completely different direction, the direction that the programmers have set this thing up to do. And it has changed over the last 6 months or so. It's getting ridiculous.
Well,
Okay.
you know, it's reminding us all a little bit more of like the Terminator, where at some point the brain of this whole AI stuff takes over and thinks it's smarter than us, and that we're the problem, not it's the problem. So I just it can be used for good. I have to say that there are lots of things that it's good to have information at your fingertips, but if you don't read for yourself, if you don't learn for yourself, if you don't have an instinct of what's to come because you've gone through it enough times that you don't even explain it. You just know. You're not going to be good at what you do. You have to be good because you do it over and over again, and you read and you put all that information, and that's how you get good. Mm-hmm. AI should be a portion of how we learn and what information we take from all the sources that we have. It should be a portion. I don't know that we would need to eliminate it, but on the other hand, what's going to happen is it's going to be abused because it's fast.
Is it
and easy?
Yeah, fast and easy. And I just did a prime example of that because there's a question that I've been asking since sometime in the 1990s, maybe early 2000, probably 1990s. And the question involved write down a series of numbers in order across your page, and then fill in the blank of what the next number is. And I had one person to get it right. I had engineers work on it for 3 days. I had medical personnel. It was given to a medical staff, and they preceded it with think out of the box. Think out of the box, because it is not the normal series of numbers that you would anticipate having. They are related mathematically. They're in descending order. So what is the final number in order? So I just now for the first time put that in the new AI platform here, and guess what? It came up with the right number. It came up with the answer. Holy moly. And I had engineers working with calculators and computers in those days, but there was not a program. There was no AI at that time to program it in. I just did it for the first time, and it came up with the right number. I used it as an example for people, giving it to them. And of course, they wouldn't get it. Nobody ever got it except one person. Because I told them to think out of the box. It's different. It's not what you would think. AI takes that into consideration. That part is scary. I will tell you right now.
That's right. It's scary, and it's just too easy. We're not going to thrive and grow by things that are fast and easy by themselves. It has to be used as an adjunct, something in addition to how we learn.
So, is this going to be fair to let our young people, the people that you treat and try to get their brains going every time you treat them anyway, is this going to be fair for them, or are they just going to be programmed to do whatever a computer tells them to do?
Obviously, it's going to be B. And no matter how you explain it to a young person, they're not going to believe you because it's all going to be written off as you're the old generation and we're the new generation. This is how we do it now. And it's going to be very, very hard to, explain it and for them to accept that. So it's the way of the future, but the future is going to be a little bit scary until we figure out that we have to use our own brains again.
And
the good part is that there's a whole subsection of the population that is homeschooling their kids or using classic education. And so hopefully there will be a percentage of children out there that will think sort of outside the box and learn how to think and not just come up with it as a reflex. And so that 10%, 5 to 10% of the population is probably going to outdo in smartness the rest of the 90% that's attending school.
So, I guess if they're allowed to use their computers to work on tests, obviously they do it with their homework. Are they learning anything, or are they just learning how to use a computer?
That's correct. They're learning how to use the computer, and it's not sticking for the most part. So information does not stick in that way. It's just if you have to go over things again and again, and then see it in real life, and then it's stuck. Well, it's not going to stick because it's not going into the core of the child. It's very superficial.
I'm just wondering, I sit here, I started diving back in 1965. We didn't have underwater pressure gauges when I started diving. You had to kind of get a feel about how much air you had left.
Like when you stop breathing?
Well, no, you can breathe, but it gets harder as you get low.
Right.
Get low on air. But anyway, there are signs, but you learn that through experience. And then along came things like computers.
Yes.
And it gives you the amount of time that you've been down. You can also have it integrated with your air system, your air supply, how much air you got left. So therefore, how much time you got left at this depth. And, it does some cool stuff for you, but it doesn't think. That's not AI. That's a program. What do you what do you do when you start saying, okay, this regulator has just failed? This has failed. Do you wait for a computer that's going to tell you what you should be doing? Because you got to go to the surface is what you got to do.
Or you panic.
Or you die.
Yeah, which is worse. Or you panic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which contributes to very, very poorly. Because you don't know what to do now.
So I got a solution there for the rip currents. And all the people that get caught in them, they all have to wear a special wrist AI computer that, like a watch, that as they get in case they get caught in a rip, it tells them that they're caught in a rip. Their heart rate is such and such. You're panicking. Slow down. Just drift out 48 more feet, and then you can swim up or down the beach. Oh, you got to be kidding me! But I can see that happening.
I'm getting panicked just thinking about it.
Wow. I think there are certain things that an artificial brain is not going to help.
Right.
I think the lesson from all this, before we get into the part where we can't come back, is for each parent to make sure that the children, the family, turns the phone off, and we just have conversations and pick topics to talk about, and expect to get upset when your parents, because the kids will say dumb things, or they'll be on the wrong side of what you think is correct. But let them talk and let them have a dialogue. If you want to train your children's brains the right way, you have to teach them how to debate, how to debate organically. Yeah, and you do that around the table with a conversation or a topic. And they'll roll their eyes. That's all right. They won't die from rolling their eyes and being bored.
Yeah.
Help them participate in having conversations so that their own brains get used and they start to be able to process. Because that's what people do. We got to process.
But don't tell me whatever. And don't hold up your left hand and
don't do it, Rayford.
The left hand up. Don't talk to, you're not right. Talk to the left hand because you're not right. That's a new one that they're using.
Help me.
Whap.
Dr. Rose can take care of that right away.
Yeah.
She's good.
Get out the Band-Aids. Get out the Band-Aids because the kids going to need it.
Right, right.
Aww.
And for those listening, if they want to follow Dr. Rose on her Facebook page, she's got a fabulous Facebook page, and she's continuously putting stories up there. Some of the children that she
that's good.
she doctors, and it's just wonderful stories. There was one up the other day, I think, about a little baby. I can't remember the details, Dr. Rose. I apologize, but yeah,
Oh
she's
no,
got a
that's
lot
all
of
right. I
heartfelt
just love my
stories.
babies.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, and I get my parents bring my patients bring me
Mhm.
their babies back, and I was just so happy and proud of that I did. But I think you guys gave me a good idea. Maybe based on what you guys bring as a topic, I might write a little bit. I might write on this AI thing, because I think that we need to give our conversations a serious turn around the table.
Mm-hmm.
I might just do a Facebook page, a Facebook post that's going to be a little bit different, just talking about a topic each week.
I'll be looking
And
for it.
I could base it on the questions that you guys ask me.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, I'll be looking for that.
Because we come up with some off the wall stuff.
Yes, well, definitely. We'll share it on ours.
Yeah. So, all right. Dr. Rose, thank you as always.
Yes.
And is there any other disease out there I'm going to catch after we finish today?
No, there's nothing. There's nothing but good. I see it.
Thank you, Dr. Rose. Thank you.
We appreciate
you guys
it.
have a great week.
Thank you.
You too.
I meant to tell you, I'm not going to be on the air next week. I'm going to Canada for
Nice.
just a few days to see those beautiful leaves.
Enjoy
See
it.
the leaves and find some donuts.
All right, I'll do that. I'll find some donuts, but we shall talk in 2 weeks.
Okay.
All right. Have a good time.
Have a good
Be
one.
safe.
Bye. Dr. Rosemary Stein, pediatrician extraordinaire. You know what? And when you guys future parents, one of a really good thing you should be shopping for, those little cribs and all that little stuff. That's just physical stuff. Cool, but it's just makes your nursery look cool, right?
Right.
Those little onesies that you got to have, and all of this and that. Shop for a pediatrician. Really shop for a pediatrician. Go look around for the best one, somebody who's been in business, somebody who actually takes care of kids. And you can interview them. You can stop by at some point in time, make an appointment, say, listen, I want to talk to you, and make a note of some of the stuff that Dr. Rose is talking about, other than, okay, here's temperature is, okay, you got this, and this. Take 2 aspirin, do this, and you bring me a stool sample or whatever, and that's all you get. You don't get conversation. Go find you another prospect. Find somebody. I know they're going to be busy. The really good ones are going to be really, really busy, but that's okay.
Well, I appreciate the fact that she has taken time out of her Wednesday mornings for the last,
years
to call and talk about the latest in pediatric medicine.
Mm-hmm.
And generally we can ask her questions about adult health, and she's right there to answer it for us. So
we got a gentleman here. I'm going to ask him about telephone fraud. What do you think? Do you think I could get away with that? Scams.
It's starting, Peter. It's
I
starting.
have got more phone calls. Peter Wright, welcome back. Where have you been?
Oh, on the holiday. No, I wish.
Your government shut down, or you just shut down? But anyway, welcome back. I'm glad you're feeling better.
No, thank you.
So,
yeah. COVID wasn't too good this time around.
Wow.
I could have blamed you for the stuff I was feeling last week, but I hadn't seen you in a month.
Yeah.
So it wasn't you.
Yeah, that was one, because my wife stayed with her for a couple of weeks. So, and she's still feeling a bit tired from it. So, but for me, I got
it's because
over
you were
it
there
fairly
for a couple
quickly.
of weeks, so she's tired. She just
Could be that.
Go on, Peter. Go away.
They were both locked in the house for 2 weeks together.
Okay. Just kidding. I'm sure you guys did well together. It's just a season.
It's the season.
It is finally here. Of course, according to my phone that gets lit up every day, it's been here since January.
So you've been getting lots of calls all this time.
I get call. Here's. Let me ask you this now. Here's the latest deal. It's a deal. First of all, they want to know robocalls. Want to know now. You are getting Part A and Part B, right? It's none of your business. Well, I understand why you're concerned about not giving that to me. So obviously they're programmed for that response. But what is needed so that we can verify that you have Part A and Part B and you're eligible for this special program, which gives you may not know it, but it gives you flexible spending every month. You get money back. You get a $250 food allowance every month. You get a this, you get a that. I'm like, I think I've already got all that. But I don't tell them that because I'm talking to an idiot, a recorded idiot. And so I get when they say, now you do have Part A and Part B, don't you? I said, the answer is still the same. Click. I got their button now. I know which one to push.
So you know what to say.
It's none of your business.
I have found that because I haven't been phoned about Medicare, but I've been phoned about Google and about crypto, and the calls that I'm getting now are far more sophisticated than they were even a year ago. It's they're already preempting what my comeback would be to what they say. So I just say, take me off your call list.
Good luck on that one too.
I just say, I'm not interested. Take me off your call list, and I hang up.
The one that I was using there for a while, and could you tell me your date of birth? I said, yes, is whatever came out to be. I was turned out to be 114. I just picked a date that I was 114 years old. I'm afraid you're not eligible for this. Click. You should be dead. So, in other words, I know they got a wise guy, and I'm not going to talk to them.
Yeah.
No need of having a discussion with a person like me. At that point in time, you just need to hang up. Move on to some other sucker, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
And but your point is very well taken. Do be really careful about calls. You Medicare agents or people representing Medicare agents are not allowed to call you at home if they're trying to sell you a Medicare Advantage plan, unless you've given permission already for them, to do so, and that's been documented. So they cannot, now you can call someone that you've heard about, but you should not be receiving calls that you're not expecting from anybody trying to sell you a Medicare Advantage plan. Yeah. So if you do get one, that's a scam, and they will be selling you what they want to sell you, not what is good for you. Yeah.
They show up, those who, like the ones I'm talking about, have been showing up with a North Carolina telephone number. It changes every day. The voices are the same, but the numbers are changed because I blocked that number. Yeah. And so that number can't get through anymore. So it shows up, same voice, same recorded voice, and they got like 3 different names that she uses. I'd put her in jail. In the good old days. You give me 3 names, or you do it to a police officer, you go to jail. When you lie. Yeah. So, but what, it is open enrollment on the 7th?
On October the 15th.
15th, okay.
And it goes through to December the 7th.
Okay.
And it's what we call annual enrollment. Some people refer to it as open enrollment, but that's January to March time. Yeah. This is the annual enrollment where you can, choose to do what you want to do with your plan. If I'm
already in a plan, I can make changes in it, no problem.
Yeah, or get a plan if you haven't got one, or you can,
And if be careful if you've got a plan and it's been working for you, when somebody else calls you and wants to change you, put you into something else. If you want to go see that person, different story. Or find somebody like Peter that comes on here and he makes himself available, and he's our expert. So we know about Peter, and he represents a number of companies. You can.
I try to represent all the companies in North Carolina
that can practice in North Carolina.
Yeah, so I'm licensed with 10 companies.
Okay,
there may be 1 or 2. There's Troy that I'm not. That they don't have agents for, but I'm of almost all the companies in North Carolina, and certainly all the companies in Onslow and
Craven,
County.
probably.
Craven may have one. I'm not sure. No, I think with Craven and Carteret too. Yeah,
Okay.
I'd have to check.
Now, you had hinted, but you didn't have the details about changes that were coming up this year to the Medicare
Yes,
program.
we want to hear
Yeah.
that.
That's what we need to know about. What
Yeah.
have I got to worry about?
Okay. Well, there are
Yeah.
changes. And the first thing is the reason for the changes is, of course, with the Inflation Reduction Act, it brought the maximum out of pocket that a person would have to spend from. It could have been, in my case, it was 16,000. There was, for the drugs I was getting, if I got them through the Advantage plan, down to 8,000 last year and 2,000 this year. And that change has meant that insurance companies, instead of being able to have 60% of the money that they get from the government going towards the drugs and 40% for other benefits, but it's now more like 90% of that money that they get from the government towards the drug program, because they've got a lot more costs to cover these drugs, and 10% for the benefits. So what we're seeing generally with most of the companies is that the benefits have, and I'm talking nationwide, the benefits have got less, and the MOOPs, the maximum out of pockets that you may have become higher than what they were. There are some exceptions, not in Onslow County, or Carteret or Craven, but there are some exceptions in other counties. That there is one company that's got quite a good footprint in North Carolina, but they'll have some interesting plans to look at.
Okay, so
But that won't affect us here. in
Most of
Onslow.
this is going to be for drugs you're talking about, because of the cost of drugs. And
It's going.
now I think the president has been pushing, mandating, requiring whatever for those who manufacture drugs to bring their prices down. Maximum, the prices are too high. He claims, that's what he says.
Yeah.
I don't know whether they are or not. I know they have to pay for research and development, but they don't have to pay for the research and development of aspirin for 200 years. That's a done deal.
Yeah.
So I think he's trying to curtail some of that. Now, that was what the platform was anyway. Are any of these increases or any of these changes going to affect like a person with a normal? I guess there are some people like me have a normal prescription costs every month. Nothing extraordinary, nothing overly proprietary. Most of it's generic. Changes coming for anything like that I need to know
Yes,
about?
so I've got a lot of people on the Essential Plus plan, for instance, with Blue Cross. So we're going to talk about Blue Cross because that's who I'm able to talk about on this radio
Right,
show.
yeah.
And so on the drug portion of that MAPD plan, on the Medicare Advantage plan, there's now going to be a $615 deductible. Now let's just see what that was before. Before we had a $375 deductible.
Okay.
So in 2025, $375. So it's now increased to $615, which means the first amount you pay for your drugs, and that deductible is on tiers 3, 4, and 5. So if you got tiers 1 and 2 drugs, like blood pressure, some of the more normal drugs, then you're not going to be affected by that.
Okay.
But if you've got more expensive drugs, then it's going, higher tier drugs, then you're going to be affected.
If you've had issue with cancer or heart transplant or whatever, then you're having to take specialized meds.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Though-
they're going to be more expensive.
Yeah, though if you're on tier 5 drugs like I am, my tier 5 drug, the one that I'm on, the first injection I have, and I inject once every week, but the first injection I have blows my $2,000. So, yeah, I'm already over in a year. So my maximum out of pocket this year has been $2,000 on drugs. And this next year, that maximum out of pocket is going up to $2,100.
It's better than 16,000 or 8,000, right?
It really is.
Okay.
Yeah. So for me, I don't mind that. Most people are not facing that with the
Sure.
tier 5 drug. It's not a, but if somebody's been on a tier 5 drug, they've often got a patient assistance program that will pay for it,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't have to worry about that.
Okay.
So
The best way for folks to find out is get a list of your prescriptions, your meds that you take, stuff that you have to take every day or every quarter or whatever. Sometimes 4 times a day, maybe.
mhm.
Some drugs are like that. Get a list of it together. Get over to see you.
Yes, come over and see me. I am in the Walmart on
Marine Boulevard North.
Boulevard North.
North Marine Boulevard.
Near the
Yeah.
car park.
That's- yeah, where what is it? Golden Corral
Yeah.
is in the car
Corral.
park.
Oh
In
yeah,
the car
I
park.
was at the car park Tuesday in
Yes.
the Golden
Oh.
Corral. Oh, God,
I think we
got
have a
stuck.
question. We have Timmy. Tim's calling, and I know he wants to speak to Peter.
Uh-huh.
I didn't see him flashing. Now, Tim, you're flashing.
I saw Tim flashing at me.
You know I'd flash you, should. You know I would. All day. You know. Can't help it. Can't help it.
Remind me to tell you, Tim won an award at his way back when
Yes.
they had a garden. Well, wasn't that far back when there was the garden club here.
Right.
They had awards for stuff,
Mhm.
and he won first place one time.
Was he flashing
Oh.
his flowers?
No,
What were you flashing, Tim?
I'm scared to ask him. I forgot.
I don't know.
I'm scared because I know he's coming up with something.
he streaked through the garden club.
Oh.
Yeah, garden club.
Same,
You know what?
same thing.
You know what the first place award was for?
What was it for?
Dried arrangement.
Oh,
Yeah.
Rayford, you're worse than I was. Oh my
He did
God.
what? I missed that.
He got first place for
I
dried
thought it-
arrangement.
Yeah, I thought it was for shortest bud, but okay.
Oh, here we go.
Okay, now I've done mine today.
I'm embarrassed.
Oh Lord, my man Peter, how are you?
Very well, thanks. How are you?
Oh yeah, man, you got to get together. I've had them coming out of the woodwork. Hey,
Yes.
they're calling me. I don't know where to get my numbers at.
I
keep
don't
telling
know
them,
either.
well, I'm gonna talk to Peter Wright first. If you don't mind. Oh yeah, I know who he is. I know he is. I got him wanting to meet me at Piggly Wiggly Thing Barbecue. We can set you right up. I said, not yet, you ain't. You're not gonna set me up.
We've
with
made
nothing.
Peter famous.
Well, if they're going to want to meet me at a place to eat, if y'all want to meet me at
Oh, they
meet me at the Burrow. Be prepared.
Yeah.
I want steak.
But I have done a little bit of research, and it's word of mouth research. Really, I wound up all my doctors, and I asked, first thing I asked, what do y'all think about Medicare Part B? And every one of their accounts said we love it. So
Mhm.
we love Medicare Part B. I said, okay. And she said, there's no insurance company that pays on time. That's the first thing out of her mouth.
Oh, wow. No wonder they like it.
Said they pay better than any private insurance company that there is. Said they pay better. Said they
Okay.
pay better, no questions, what have you. And I've heard a few of them talk to me about this and that and the other. And I had one gentleman, moving his piece of equipment. And I said, well, I got to set up for something, and he said, well, I'm 78 years old, and let me tell you what you don't want to do. So, he said, I was on that Advantage plan. He said, and you got to beg them to let you do something. He said, I
Really?
swear I got off of that after what he was saying. I don't know.
Oh.
I have no idea, but
It might be
And
that way when
he
next
said-
year when I turn 78, but when I'm 77, it's not
Yeah.
that way.
No, I didn't think. You gonna have people tell you horror stories, and but I was laughing at him. I mean, nice old gentleman, but I'm on. Let's see, I start vacation October the 8th, but I'm gonna get up with you as soon as I can. From the 8th on.
Well,
And
from
we'll
the
sit down and figure
15th,
this out.
I will be in Walmart. You can meet me then in Walmart. And we can. Oh,
I may be back to work by then, but I will
Okay.
see. If not, I'll give you a call and I'll pay you to sit down with me or something and just get something worked out. Because I've even talked to my company about their insurance, and even because there's one drug that I'm really concerned about, and where I work at is a tier 3, and it's a $60 deductible. I said, because they said, yeah, if you don't want to go with Medicare Part B, you can take our insurance, blah blah blah. And I've been thinking about that. If I decided to retire in a couple of years, I'd have to go back all through that rigmarole again. So if I wound up just getting the Medicare parts and talking to you and getting everything straight that I need, that may be what I do. Because my company insurance is going to cost me about $75 a week, which I'm paying $300 a month for what I got now.
yeah.
But you said the 15th. I'll call you if you can get away earlier than that.
Well, I can talk to you. I can talk to you earlier than that, certainly. But if you want to do something, then So we can, because I'm allowed to talk to you from October the 1st, from today onwards. So
Okay.
you can have the chat. Then he
Yeah.
can. Then you can make the phone call after the 15th and sign up. How's that?
Okay. That's
Something
fine.
like that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Peter will work it out.
Yeah, or I can leave you the information to mail into me on the 15th. I just can't
no,
take.
that's fine.
Super.
I mean, we'll get there. Because the Social Security Administration is different from Medicare. Because Medicare told me one thing, Social Security Administration said another.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
the Social Security Administration said, you've got until February the
So
1st.
confusing.
I said, okay, but I don't want to wait that long. I like to get my stuff in and get it over with. And I want to sit down with you, and that's fine. We'll start. I'll make arrangements to be off to get up with you to sit down and get whatever.
Now, do you have my phone number? Because I can, if you
Yes,
got
sir.
okay. So
Yes, sir. You gave it to me, and I have it right in my phone on speed dial.
And he
Okay.
knows people that have it too.
yeah. So I'll just say it for anybody else listening. If you got a pen and paper, it's 252-675-4488. And once
Okay.
more, that's 252-675-4488.
Yep, it's right. Like I said, I got it right here in my phone. But I like to get things done. I don't want to wait till February because the Social Security Administration says, now if you wait till after February, it's got 10%. I said, ma'am, I want it now. But I can understand,
Mhm.
And she was real sweet about it. And I said, I ain't got enough sense enough to go back and sign back up. I'm going to have to make an appointment or whatever. She said, well, you've already got your number because you have the Medicare Part A. I said, yes, ma'am. She said, got your number, so we're good to go.
All right.
Okay.
Peter will take care of it for you.
I know it will, and I'm waiting on bated breath because it does worry me. Like I said, I got that one drug that I worry about, and I have told these people that have called me, I said, this is the drug I'm worried about.
Okay.
Only drug I'm worried about. And boy, they just, okay.
So I think what you're telling me, having listened to you now, is that you've just got Medicare Part A, you don't have Part B, and you're going to need to apply in January for Part B.
Yeah, by January. Yeah.
Okay, and that will enable you to get the Part B in February. So I can help you with a Medicare Advantage plan once you've got Medicare A and B. So
Okay.
we can look at your drugs at any time. There's not a rush to do it between now and the 15th of October, because we can do it sometime during this period from the 15th of October through to December the 7th. And I'm sure we can find a time to do that then. Because
I will make time.
Yeah, because your main concern will be to get your Part B before, so you qualified in order to be able to get the a Medicare Advantage plan, if that's what you want to do.
Yeah, well, I'll just, I have, like I said, I've researched around. I've talked to all of my doctors, and they were fine with the Medicare Part B and this and that. Oh, it pays. I mean, I went to the cardiologist and I talked to the accountant, and she said, "Oh my gosh, the Medicare pays quicker than anybody else."
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I said, "Are you
like
serious?" She said, "Oh, yeah." But so I'm gonna try to get the Part B, and I even talked to God Almighty, Blue Cross and Blue Shield, where my wife has the amount wouldn't go down because I'm paying $300 a month my part, and they said, "Well, you can stay on it, after you get to B." Yeah, but you're talking about between $300 for that. They're telling for how much for Medicare Part B. I said, "You're talking about $500 to $600 a month, maybe."
Well,
I don't want to do that thing.
Yeah, what you want to do is work out which gives you the best benefit, staying on your company plan with just Medicare Part A, or getting Medicare Part B in addition to the Part A, and looking at an Advantage plan. So that's what I can help you with. And I would suggest we meet, probably either during November, December, or perhaps even in January. But you will, if you're going to go the Advantage way, you will want to have that in place for the first of a month in which your Part B goes live.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, because my Medicare Part A starts November the 1st. That's what the card says.
Oh, okay.
But
Cool.
that was it. But I'm looking forward to it, because I made a statement when I was on the show talking about this mess. I said, "I feel sorry for old people." I ain't kidding you. It's aggravating this and that.
Now you're there.
Well, now you mentioned one other thing, Tim, and that is that so Part A, you say, starts 1st of November. So you turning 65 in November?
December 1st. Yes, sir.
December the 1st. Okay, because it's December the 1st, so you get your Part A in November. So so we've got to redo this. I didn't realize you were turning 65, because you're turning 65. Yes, do come and see me in October, and we can work out if you want to get Part B or not, because you're able to get that Part B at the same time as you can get Part A.
And I didn't elect to it. The reason I didn't get the Part B, because Medicare said I could use my wife's insurance.
Yeah.
And I said, "Well, that's fine." And she has Blue Cross Blue Shield Federal, and it's great. And so 3 weeks later, Social Security Administration called me and said, "You can't do that." And I said, "Well, why not?" They said, "Because your wife is retired. If she was still actively working, you can do that.
Mm-hmm.
But since she retired, you can't." I said, "Well, we're still paying for it." And it got a mess. So that's when
Make her go back to work.
So
she's working, but not there.
I understand.
So Tim, come and see. Let's speak if you like sooner than October the 15th, and we can work out what we need to do there.
Okay. Well, I'll give you a call, and we'll make arrangements. If you're not busy, we'll set up a time and a date.
Yep.
Sound like a winner, Timmy. Thank you.
All right, y'all being good. Behave.
No,
right.
Thanks.
Do the best I can, but it's not going to happen.
Phew.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's good. Let's do a quick weather, bring people up to speed here on what's cooking.
Right.
As soon as I pop that up again, and there we go. The hurricanes are not going to be a factor other than the leftovers. There's nothing major happening anymore with them here. They're moving further and further away from North Carolina and the United States. They're going to go up to the northeast and die out in cold water. That's fine. No problem with that one whatsoever. They've left behind some stuff, but it's one of those things. The surf is going to be rough here for a few days. Don't get in it. And for you boaters out there, if you can't afford to lose your boat, I probably wouldn't take it out there for a while. It's going to be ugly. You're not going to want it. Too uncomfortable to feel good about it. Dangerous conditions are expected across area waters for the next several days. Impacts from Humberto and Imelda. Strong high pressure will build in from the north as gusty northeasterly winds continue. That will improve our situation around here. Looks like we're going to have a fairly decent day. Looks like kind of foggy out there, cloudy looking, but it's looking good. It is breezy right now. Gale warning remains in effect through tonight. Northeasterly winds today, 25 to 30, gusts to 35, seas 8 to 11, 5 to 7 close to shore. That's still too way big. Sounds and rivers very rough. Northeasterly winds Thursday, 20 to 25 knots, gusts to 30, 7 to 10 footers, 3 to 5 near shore. Sounds and rivers remain rough, and that's why dogs like them. Friday, northeasterly winds 15 to 20, gust up to 30, seas 5 to 7, 2 to 4 near shore. Sounds and rivers choppy, looking a little less worse.
Today will be cloudy, then gradually becoming mostly sunny with a high near 79. Northeast wind 11 to 15 miles per hour with gusts as high as 25. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low around 57. Thursday, mostly sunny with a high near 75. And Friday, mostly sunny with a high near 78. Good to go.
Peter, other than that's mostly in the med stuff that the changes are made, right?
So, well, that was a reason for some of the changes that has also affected the rest of the plan too.
Okay.
And while on the drugs, a tier 3 drug always used to be a copay. It will now, the Blue Cross, be a co-insurance amount. So that we'll have to see.
What does that mean?
So that means instead of paying a set amount, like I think we were on, was it $45 as a copay for tier 3? Let's just see.
I don't pay attention to that. That's up to you.
Yeah, I've got it here in this chart somewhere if I can find it. Tier 3 is a $45 copay at the moment. This next year it'll be a 25%
25%.
co-insurance. So you'll be paying quarter of the cost of a drug. So that will have some effect, maybe increasing the price a little bit on your drugs. So it will be important to look at, to run your drugs, because we've got the Essential Plus plan. It has changed a little bit. The maximum out of pocket that really only affects about 1% of people has gone up somewhat. It will now be, I think it's 5,950 from, let me just turn to that page. No, it's going to be 6,750.
Mm-hmm.
It was 5,200. But that really only affects about 1 to 2% of people a year. That's a maximum that you might have to spend if you went in and out of hospital multiple times.
I got you.
And the average amount that a person spends on a plan like this is about $1,100 in a year. So, it's way off.
So even
amount.
those of us with the Advantage plan, we need to give you a list of our drugs again so you can take a look-see to make sure.
I would, because
I will. So you got to say.
Yes, because the enhanced plan, it's it only has $100 deductible, and on the drugs, and it's okay. It's got a premium. For this next year, it's a $40 premium, but it may be the way that some people will want to go, or they may want to stay with the Essential Plus plan, which still has $0 amount to see a doctor, and a $0 amount. Zero for doctors and zero for something else. I can't remember what I was going to say now, but $0 premium and zero for doctors. That's
Okay.
right. So they've kept those costs down. So yeah.
All right, folks, if you've got a question now, and it may be too early for you to have any questions, you're back every week now, right?
Well, I'm living here.
I'm talking about on the air with us.
On the
Wednesday.
yes, I'm back
Okay,
every
good.
week.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So you can make some notes for next Wednesday as well. If you've got a question now, burning question, give us a call at 910. Give us a call, but you're going to be talking with Peter because we don't know anything. 910-333-0139. 910-333-0139. Peter's here for a few more minutes. If and you can get some information ready, and beginning the 15th, they can come by and see you
In the Walmart store.
in the Walmart
Yes.
store right here on
Yeah.
Marine Boulevard North.
Come in the groceries entrance. That's where I should be. That's where I was the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I got to go by there and buy one particular item that I usually stock up on this about twice a year. So I'm down to only 2 cans left. So I got to get some for my pantry. And there you got the cheapest ones in town.
Mm-hmm. And what item is that, for interest?
It's little canned clams,
Oh, okay.
chopped clams,
Uh-huh.
minced clams. Sorry. So I use them for a bunch of things,
Uh-huh.
even in my scrambled eggs.
Oh,
It's
okay.
really good.
Yeah.
Kind of like an omelet,
Yeah.
but it's scrambled.
Yeah.
I can't make an omelet.
Yeah.
I can start out as an omelet, but it's going to be scrambled. Same thing. It's all put together anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's like me. About once every 3 months, I find plantains in Walmart.
Oh,
They don't
really?
have them there all the
No,
time.
yeah.
And I always buy 1 or 2 packets, and my wife will go and get a big piece of pork, and we'll cook that up and have a Cuban pork steak or whatever
Wow,
you call it,
really?
with the plantains and so on. Yeah, we did that last week again.
I've talked to you about that.
What are plantains? I mean, I think I
It's like
generally
bananas,
know.
but they're
So I
different.
thought. I mean, what makes them different?
They taste horrible when they're raw, but if you
Yeah.
cook them, they're really good.
They're made for cooking.
Yeah,
You can fry them.
fry them.
Fry
and
them, deep
it's
fry.
almost like
Yeah.
deep fry them.
Well,
You peel them
I
and deep
think-
fry them.
I don't know. I buy them, so I just heat them up. My wife cooks them from scratch, and sometimes they taste awful. So I said, let's get the ones from Walmart, and we'll just heat
I'll
them up.
stick to the
and-
bananas.
What do you get it from Walmart? It's just
I'll look
raw
'em up.
raw plantains, right?
No, they have
I'm looking
them
them up.
packed. You just stick them in the microwave, or you can put them in the oven.
no, I can't do that. I get the real ones.
Oh, they're
okay.
starchier than regular bananas.
They're good. They're really. I really like them.
Yeah, there's a lady that we used to. She and her
I'll check 'em
husband. They were both divers, and they had a boat down in the Virgin Islands, and we get down there and
Uh-huh.
spend some time with them every year. And
Yeah.
they would be on trips with us. And she's Puerto Rican, and I tell her she speaks Puerto Ricanese. And she always likes that, but she knows how to prepare them.
Mhm.
So she taught me how to do them. So
yeah.
it's always good if you
Yeah.
can get the right plantains.
Yeah.
I know I had to pick them out too.
Mhm.
Don't get them really hard. Let 'em
I
get
think
a
I
little-
say get them so they're looking black on the outside.
they're
Don't
black.
they? You
Yeah.
need them.
There you
Yeah.
go. That's the ones. So anyway, some of you guys you might have a recipe. You can call us later and give it to me. Okay, so we got that going here, and so next week, well, obviously we're going to continue with this because there are changes in the air. And so the people, if you're already on Medicare, you're not done yet. You're not done until every year goes by. You know, you need to take a look at it. And since you probably at least 65% of you, maybe higher, or like I am, you don't have a clue about this stuff. Nothing. I don't have time to study it.
I agree.
I wouldn't know what I was looking at if I did study it. And if I did study it and I took action, it would be wrong. Then I'd have to call Peter anyway and have him fix it. I guarantee you that's what would happen if I tried to do it. I don't do that. I give him all my requirements, what I have to do, find me a plan. He did. I am perfectly happy with it.
Well, what I expect to happen this year, I think everybody should, come and see me and review their plans, just in case.
Yeah.
But I expect most people will be staying where they are. I don't think there's been any major changes that's going to cause them, to either swap to a different carrier or to, and now I'm talking about Blue Cross here.
Sure.
Or to possibly change plans. So maybe some people with a drug situation where it may be wiser to go onto an enhanced plan.
Whatever your carrier is, he or she or that company will have, some of them will have multiple possibilities. And you need to find one that fits your needs, because not everybody's got the same needs. Lee, she uses 2 aspirin a year. That's about all the drugs she takes. Whatever.
Yeah.
But so her needs are different than yours, or different than mine. Mine's low.
Yeah.
Yours is not. But mine is, I do have half dozen prescriptions that I have to get filled.
Yeah.
And actually it's down to about 4, I think now, maybe 3.
Great.
And then I got over the counter stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
And that is something that you can talk to Peter about. Some of your over the counter things, certain plans, you're given a certain amount of money under one plan to fill your over the counter needs, right?
Yeah.
Great.
So that's what I do. And it's, okay, duh. And don't have to pay extra for it. If I didn't need them, I'd have to find something else to spend it for. And I haven't done that yet. So I use it for the things that I need. And I can stock up for that whole quarter. It might last me for 2 quarters, and I can do something else one of the quarters. Yeah. So it's either that or sell them on a street corner.
Yeah.
Kidding. Nobody wants to buy a prescription Nexium or non-prescription Nexium on a street corner, do they? I wouldn't think.
Not if they don't know where it's coming from. No.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So when you have questions, and I hope you will, don't just take the words of the people on the phone. Advertising can be good, but it's an introduction. It's not you. It's not your personal needs. Everybody's got a different need. There's not a one size that fits everybody.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind.
And if I can say one other thing
Absolutely.
about changes we haven't mentioned, because this won't really affect people on Blue Cross, but will affect people on other plans. The way that people that are on a dual special needs plan, that's if you've got Medicare and Medicaid, or if you've got a chronic plan, the way that you've been being awarded money for food money, food card money, is changing. Instead of they used to use what they call a value-based income model, where they'd look at your income and you qualify for that plan because of your income. Now you're going to qualify based, and I did mention this to quite a number of people during the year. Now you're going to qualify based on what they call SSBCI benefits, which is something supplemental benefits for chronic illness, which means there are about, and I say about because it depends on carrier to carrier, 26 chronic diseases. Like rheumatoid arthritis is now considered one of those. But there's a lot of different chronic diseases. and if you fall in that category, and apparently 90 to 95% of people will, that are on one of these plans already, then you'll be able to keep getting out food money. So we'll need to look at those plans too, and those aren't. Most people are on plans like that with a different company, which I might as well say here, with United Healthcare in Onslow County anyway. So we'll need to look at those plans and
don't be sold. I mean, it may be great for you. It may work out perfectly for you, but you may be on a plan right now that's doing a whole lot of what your needs are, and then you see this carrot dangled in front of you, or actually it looks more like a donut on TV. Said you get $900 a month for food, for your grocery bill. We got this extra spending. You're just passing this money up. There are strings attached. There are all sorts of things, and you may lose a whole bunch of the other stuff that you got in exchange to go get some groceries. Be careful. Sit down and talk with somebody who knows. If it's good for you, he'll tell you so, regardless of what plan it is. If it looks good for you, he'll tell you to go for it.
Yeah. I don't think there will be so many changes there on those plans in Onslow County. There will be in other, or Carteret or probably Craven, but there will be in other counties. So we may not get as many phone calls about that this year.
Okay.
Which would be pretty cool if that's the case.
So, and that's the other thing, depending upon where you live, what county that you live in North Carolina, which still perplexes me beyond belief. This is one state, 100 counties, but the plans that are offered vary from county to county to county.
And isn't that crazy?
The hospital systems and costs are very dependent on what the services, what they've got in that county. And for instance, they say Wake County is one of the most expensive ones.
I'm sure.
Yeah. So,
got too much government there for one thing. Makes things expensive.
Yeah.
Peter, thank you as always. Again, if you want to talk with Peter, 252-675-4488. I got a 2 thumbs up on that one, guys. 252-675-4488. Give him a call. Set up a time. He'll answer your questions on the phone. You got simple questions, or he'll meet with you. He's not a high pressure salesman. It took him 3 years just talking with me, and I wasn't paying that much attention until I finally did, and because insurance is just something I didn't pay attention to.
Absolutely.
So now I'm done. I'm much better off than I was before.
Correct.
Not paying the out-of-pocket expenses I was paying before. Not that I had a lot or drugs or anything, but it's so cool when you say you don't know anything. Thank you. Goodbye. That kind of stuff I like.
Yeah.
It's hard keeping up with all the changes and what's best for you and what you should do, what you shouldn't do, who should you talk to on the phone, who not to talk to. It's just so much. And that's why I'm so glad that I met Peter. And
if they call you and you haven't signed up for it, if you get the call and you have not signed up for it, just say, no, thank you, and click. Hang up.
Because you will be sold something that more than likely that it's not the right thing for you. It's the right thing for the person selling it. And I've had to convert a lot of people. I get a report before the end of each month, if I search for it, that shows me who's liable to, or who's going to be moving from one company to another. And I'd say 95% of those people that I phone up haven't realized that they're being changed to a plan with lesser benefits. And so they cancel it.
And
they stay in the plan that they're in. So do not,
if you like carrots, you might get one dangled in front of you that you will give you for free. That's not what you need to bite on. Okay.
Don't do anything. Call Peter.
Yeah. We used to set rabbit traps with carrots.
We did that at the post office.
And then we had rabbit stew.
Yeah.
With carrots in it.
Okay.
Okay, Peter, thank you.
Well, thank you.
Same time, same channel next week.
Yep.
Okay.
That'd be great.
Sound
We
like a
look
winner.
forward to it. And once again, I've got all your information on our pages today. And I do have a lot of people that'll call me and ask me for your phone number. So if you're looking for it and you don't see it on our pages, give me a call. For those of you that have my number, which most everyone does.
Most
so.
everybody does.
But yeah, or just send a message to the page and we'll be glad to put you in contact with Peter. And thank you. It's good to see you again.
Yeah.
Glad you're
good
back.
to see you guys again.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Looking well. That's good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very good.
Just a little bit fatter.
No, you
But
said you
I'll work that off during annual
I
enrollment
don't
easily.
I bet you
see
do.
any fat whatsoever.
Thank you.
I'm not looking. All right. Peter Wright. Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Okay,
Peter.
We'll
thank
see you next week.
Goodbye.
Yes.
Bye-bye. You know, we had these two tragic things over the weekend, and I will have to get into them again a little bit.
Sure, go right ahead. The one in Southport, North
One in
Carolina?
Southport Saturday night, one in Michigan on Sunday
Michigan.
morning. Have you thought about the timing? So a lot of people are looking at these two things as being, good gracious, is this a copycat? This timing is unusual. With similar circumstances, the two events, one, they were 13 hours apart. A prior service Marine accused of killing 3 people and wounding 5 others in a Saturday night attack on a waterfront bar restaurant in Southport. He was arrested for it, but 3 people were killed. 5 are recovering from wounds. And 13 hours later, another prior service Marine, he drove his truck up in Michigan, drove his truck through the door of a church, shot several church members, killed them, took gasoline out of his truck that he had some containers in, set fire to the church. Did you see some of those flames?
Yes.
Engulfed the
Yes.
entire, and this was a big church.
Yeah, I watched it as it burned. I was watching it live. That was horrible.
In the attack here in North Carolina, the accused killer had changed his name legally 2 years earlier. In an application for the identity change, this is what I was looking for, he wrote, "There have been a lot of events in my life that I don't understand. Therefore, I do not trust my family, and I would feel more comfortable starting my life in a new path with a new name." Okay, his mother had filed a response to a civil suit that he filed against his parents, saying that her son suffers from war injuries and he suffers from delusions and PTSD. The VA needs to take care of him, she wrote. He sued his family, saying that they had put him down as being a feral child when he was born on his birth certificate.
What?
Obviously a lie. He and the shooter in Michigan both served in the Marine Corps. Both were stationed at Camp Lejeune. Both went to Iraq. Both were about 40 years of age. Both had various issues, according to a number of people who knew them. Governor Josh Stein said the weekend shootings were further proof of the need for improvements to fix, as his words, fix our broken mental health care system. For the first time, I'm finding somebody who's saying we need to fix the mental health care system. We need something. And coming from Governor Stein, good for you. We don't always agree. We never agree. But I agree with the governor here. We know that the vast majority of folks, he wrote, with mental health challenges pose no risk to others, but some do. There are too many people in our communities with dangerous obsessions exhibiting threatening behavior who do pose risk to others. Our federal law enforcement has yet to publicly tell us how this man in Southport with obvious issues came to have a so-called assault rifle, one with a barrel that I am told is too short to be legally owned, with a silencer that requires special permits to possess that he should not be able to get, a scope and a folding stock to make it more concealable if necessary. For you legislators in North Carolina, we need answers. And we need something that will protect people like this man as well as the rest of society. That's what's falling short in so many areas. We can protect these individuals who are like this, but we don't. We don't go out of our way to do it. We know who they are in many cases. We, the people, even the government knows who they are. The state legislature passed a criminal justice reform last week in the wake of the stabbing death of a Ukrainian refugee on a Charlotte commuter train that in part includes a greater emphasis upon defendants who need mental health examinations. Defendants who need mental health examinations. That's cool. How about if we give them treatment or they commit crimes that make them defendants? See, that part is not protecting us from them. It's protecting them from society. Governor Stein has not yet said whether he'll let the bill become law or veto it. If he vetoes the bill, then I hope a bipartisan majority of the legislature will overrule him. Democrats, Republicans, and unaffiliated citizens deserve better, and they need to be united on this.
Well, they need to make it a separate bill then.
They do. But, I've always got those here. Being a Marine is not the problem here. The shooter at Fort Hood was a soldier. Remember the shooter at Fort Hood a few years ago?
Yes.
Oslo's most notorious killer ever was a corpsman in the Navy.
Mm-hmm.
But if there are underlying, perhaps sinister issues with the weekend attacks, we need to know. And if there is something that we are not doing to prevent this from happening again and again and again, we need to identify the shortcomings and we need to fix them. Whether it's mental, physical, or whatever, we need to demand better for our Marines and their families. All service members need better. They have stress to deal with. It comes with the job. Something's wrong, and it needs to be identified and addressed. It's not at a point that the Marine Corps can say, okay, we're going to send you out on your own. We're going to pay you. We're going to declare you disabled, and we're going to give you retirement pay because you're disabled. That's not enough. What does that do to take care of them? Oh, yeah, you can see the VA. Okay, a system that so many of them are
broken.
So many Marines say is broken.
Yes.
I hear them all the time. Our club has got a lot of Marines in it.
Yes.
Some of them have issues from their duties.
Right.
It's a thing. There is a thing, and we don't understand. I don't understand. Here's what I do understand. I can't explain it, but here's what I do know. I don't understand it. We read social media posts from people we know. All of us do.
Yes, we do.
Posts where our friend will claim that the world hates him. This is nothing specific. This is general.
Right.
And it fits a whole bunch of folks. They'll claim that the world hates them. They're having problems, either business problems, marital problems, relationship problems, family problems, whatever. They claim that the world hates them and that they only have a handful of like-minded associates. They don't call them friends necessarily, that they hate people, have worked to help them. People they once credited with doing so much to help them deal with their stress. So many people, they say, have turned on them. That's where the paranoia comes in. And paranoia runs
Sure.
rampant in situations like this.
Sure.
One of our staffers here, Kelly, is a trained psychologist. She's working that, and that is her profession. She knows this.
Right.
She understands. She may understand. I don't know. I can't speak for her. She's aware of problems that are in this community. I have no doubt that parents and friends see the same similarities described by friends and parents of the Southport shooter and their son. It's sad. It's really sad that reading the outlandish writings, the self-destructive behavior, fearing that tomorrow, next week, or a few years down the road, that we will not have done enough to prevent this same sort of tragedy from happening, that we have not done enough. I don't know how much more we can do. We're limited. We, the people, are limited. What are nerve-wracking sleepless nights is that these folks have tried to get help. The nerve-wracking sleepless nights are mine or yours or whoever. I don't know whether it bothers you. It bothers me. These folks have tried to get help, but they fail to recognize their problems, preferring to blame everyone else, whether family, former friends, associates, or whoever, for their plight. Unfortunately, fortunately, whatever, they also blame our government. Yes, life can deal us some really bad cards at times, all of us. You don't have to be in the Marine Corps, the Navy, Coast Guard, the Air Force, the Space Corps. Did I leave out one? Somebody. You don't have to be a military person. You don't have to be a cop. Life can deal us some really bad cards. People can knock us down. False faith in a false God is not the answer. Most of you will understand what I'm saying if it applies to you or somebody else you know. Admitting that there is a problem and that it's time to seek a solution, a real solution, not a mind-numbing temporary escape from the real world solution. Good ways to get started. Admitting that you cannot solve the problem yourself and recognizing the destruction to family and friends are first steps to a solution. No one promised you a rose garden.
Absolutely.
There's a song
correct.
about that.
Right.
No one promised you a rose garden, but you do have an ability, with help from real friends, to spring back. But you got to reach out. You might have to cast some burdens aside. That's okay. Do what you need to do to work on the issues. You do not need to buy your friends. You do not need to beg your friends. You need to befriend your friends. The real ones will be at your doorstep with a helping hand. Better a helping hand than condolences, friend.
Absolutely.
And we have who?
Steve.
Steve, thanks for calling back, sir.
That's all right. I don't mind at all. Busy morning.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was calling on a different note, but just on what you were just speaking about, I agree with you wholeheartedly. I would put one caveat in there is that you're speaking on that with a rational mind.
Yes, I know.
And some of these
Good
people
point.
don't rational thought has already escaped them.
Yeah.
So that's a kind of a catch-22 is that some of these people don't think they need help because of their problems. I don't know how you get over that hump, but that's definitely an obstacle that's out there.
I'm going to kind of agree with you, but I'm going to agree with you in a little bit of a slightly different way. I think that deep down, they know that they need something. They're lashing out and not admitting that they can do something about it or can seek help to get something done.
Right.
They would prefer. Maybe it's because of pain. Maybe it's because of other issues, but they know they need help, but they lash out at you or me or whoever, the government, They post stuff on Facebook, makes them feel better until they look at it later on and they can't feel good about what they posted. There's no way that these folks can feel good about what they put out there on Facebook. No way. No way. Not when they sober up.
And I tend to agree with you, but I feel like it's still predicated on rational thought. And there are people out there who are not capable of rational thought.
Agree with you.
So I don't know. I don't know what you do about that, but that, like I say, that's a reality that's out there in the world. So, but what I actually called to talk about this morning was the shutdown.
Yeah,
I knew.
And yeah. I tell you guys, I hear a bunch of noise. I've kind of listened to both sides. Mike Johnson is being a little disingenuous and Thune about what they say the Democrats are asking for. And the main thing that I've seen, from what I've seen and what I've read into it, is the Democrats, the biggest thing they want is for them to continue to fund the Affordable Health Care Act. That's something, that big, beautiful bill, when it passed, it was so bad that our own Republican Senator Tom Tillis said he was going to step away from politics after this term. So, and he said his reasoning was that was the straw that broke the camel's back. That was a quote he said. Another quote he said was that it was going to devastate healthcare in North Carolina. Mm-hmm. So that him and the administration were not on the same page at all. Why I say that is if you have a Republican like Tom Tillis, I think we can both all agree he's no rhino.
Oh, heavens no. He's
okay.
He's born and bred a Republican, and that's neither good or bad, but that's him. He's true to his colors. Let's put it that way.
Right. I believe he is an honest man.
Yep.
I don't necessarily agree with everything he says, but I trust him.
I don't agree with everything anybody says, but including me.
Exactly. I'm in the same spot. But I do trust him. I don't think he's going to lie. And if he felt so strongly about how bad this bill was, is it not reasonable to expect that the Democrats are going to do everything they can to push back against it? If you've got, true red Republicans that are saying this is wrong, isn't it reasonable to expect the Democrats to do everything they can?
I don't. You're asking me if
I don't
think
agree with the shutdown.
I don't know if there's anything reasonable.
If the shoe was on the other foot and the Democrats are trying to cram something down the Republicans, and even the Democrats didn't agree with it, would you expect the Republicans to push back?
How did Tillis vote on that bill that he says he doesn't like, or you say that he says he doesn't like?
He voted no.
No.
He was one of the three. Actually, that bill, they had 54 senators, I think it is, Republican senators. They only got 50 to vote, and J.D. Vance had to come in and be the tie-breaking vote on that bill.
You're talking about the big, beautiful bill, right?
Correct.
You talking about are we talking about yesterday?
No,
no. Okay, I
he's
thought he was
talking about Trump's big, beautiful bill.
Right. It went in. It was under the Reconciliation Act, where they don't have to get 60 votes to pass it in the Senate. They only need 51 under a reconciliation. Right. But they completely defunded the Affordable Care Act in that bill. Not only are they trying to take away hundreds of millions from Medicaid, they are also completely eliminating the Affordable Care Act in that bill.
Help me out now. I know that you signed up under the Affordable Care Act, so you're speaking as one person, right? I do not know, but I've read, and you know what, I've posted something about when I hear somebody say, I read it on the internet, or I heard, I don't believe anything. I don't believe them. So I'm not going to believe me right now. But it seems like I recall that a large chunk, and not Republicans or not Democrats, but a large chunk of people who were engaged with the Affordable Care Act said it was not working, had not worked from the get-go. That's what I recall, and I really wish I could find it.
Okay, here's what I would say to that, Rayford, and this is my experience. When I first signed up through the Affordable Care Act, I did not make enough money I had to actually go back in and try and claim every little penny I had picked up throughout the year to get my earnings up to where I could be enrolled in that. Anybody who makes, I think, under $20,000 a year they don't qualify for the Affordable Care Act. They're supposed to be put on Medicaid by the state.
Uh-huh.
But North Carolina had a big gap. If you made over 18,000, you didn't qualify for Medicaid. But the government said it might have been 24,000. If you made less than that, then the state should cover you. So I don't see a scenario where somebody who didn't have a job, qualifies for the Affordable Care Act, because I had a job that I didn't make enough money to qualify. I had to go back and find some more money I made. So I call BS on that. I don't think that's possible. The system just don't work that way.
I don't know.
It also don't work. It also, illegal aliens don't qualify. You've got to be a U.S. citizen, and you've got to have a job making so much money.
You got to be a U.S. citizen. You got to be a U.S. citizen to vote in Massachusetts too. You also have to be a U.S. citizen before you can become the the public the superintendent of public schools in.
Oh yes, we have that story. We've not even talked about.
Yeah, so we did that.
And I misspoke. You don't have to be a U.S. citizen. You have to be legal.
Yeah, but he wasn't. He wasn't legal either. He wasn't legal either. And he had guns.
And I understand
in school.
Right. And I understand there may be instances where people slip through the cracks, and everything that has humans involved is going to have mistakes.
Yep.
That's something that is universal and will always be that way. So I get that side of it, but I'm telling you from my own personal experience and signing up for it, that it don't work that way. If you ain't got a job, then that puts you below the minimum you have to make, and you might qualify for Medicaid if you don't have a job. But you can't get the Affordable Care Act.
Yeah, I had a nephew, his family, they couldn't even afford the Obamacare. They couldn't even afford it.
And here's what some of the issues are in this wonderful United States is anything but united. Somebody making $18,000 in North Carolina has got more money to spend than somebody in Los Angeles making $18,000 a year. No doubt about that one, right? Or in New York.
Depending on the exact part you live, but I get your point.
Okay.
I'll say yes.
So it's hard to me. It would be very difficult to put this is the way it's going to be across the country. $24,000 or $20,000 or whatever. I don't know how you do that.
It's based state by state.
It is based state by state.
It's based state by state, and if it's 24,000 in North Carolina, might not be the same thing somebody in California has to make to qualify for it. Okay. I don't know about that, but I do know that it's tied directly to the state Medicaid program, where if you make below this amount, the state is supposed to. North Carolina was supposed to have expanded their Medicaid program to cover those people, and they have. That was Tom Tillis's pet project. We had just last year expanded Medicaid to where it was supposed to be. He had over 600,000 people to the Medicaid rolls, and all them people are going to get cut.
Yeah.
And a lot of people they talk about, they don't tell you this part, Rayford, is that if you got somebody who's not working, what is the context of that? Everybody just imagines some able-bodied person laying on the couch eating Fritos all day watching TV. But you've got people who have disabled children where, they have to stay home. They have a disabled spouse. Mm-hmm. There's times where people who are able-bodied, because they're a caregiver, can't go out and get a job full time. Mm-hmm. So I get a little, I guess, irritated when I hear them try and direct our thoughts instead of giving us all the information and letting us make our own decision. And both sides do it. I'm not going to lie. Both sides, feed you information selectively.
Yep.
And it's up to the American voter to go out and dig through the weeds to find the truth. And that ain't easy. I understand.
Yeah, one size does not fit all. That's the problem.
My thing is that Democrats, like them or not, they're your fellow Americans. The reason we have a filibuster rule in the Senate where you got to get 60 votes is so that they have to work together. and that has broken down long before now. Do you know the last time that the Senate passed a budget on time that was signed by the president?
No clue.
1997. I looked it up before I called you. I didn't know either. I was just curious.
Don't get me started on this budget thing and this so-called shutdown.
What did you say that question was, Steve? I apologize.
When was the last time that a budget was done on time, passed on time, and signed by the president on time?
Oh, that's like I said, we've had 21 prior to this of
Shutdowns.
shutdowns.
But the last time the budget was signed was 1997.
I think
That it was done on time. Clean and
right,
clear.
right. I think it was
Right. You know, and even, you know, right now with Mike Johnson and in the last 2 years, how many times has he had to get Democrats to help him with a continuing resolution? You know, and so, I mean, I feel like they're trying to pull a hoodoo on us.
They are.
You know, I feel like I'm being fooled, like I'm being cheated.
535 people that we, the stupid people in this country, have elected to represent and serve us are in charge. No, they cannot be. They're not. There are too many people in this country that you are not considering. You're not concerned with. How many of the 325 million people in this country can even have access to a congressman or a senator? One of those 535 people. How many of them can pick up the phone and call and talk to one of them, or will get a call back if they leave a message? How many? If all 300 and whatever our population is, take off their kids, if they called and tried to reach a senator or a congressman, how many of those could get through? 12.
And I agree, but in all fairness to the right and left, I look at something like that, logistics. Tom Tillis, he's one of two senators in North Carolina, and we have 11 million people in North Carolina, so you can figure at least 3 or 4 million of those people are his direct constituents. If he allowed 3 or 4 million, if he tried to return calls to that many people or allowed that many people to have meetings,
what I'm saying is there's no way that these individuals can know what the plights of the 11 million people in North Carolina are. Tillis and Bud, our congressmen, all of them. How many districts we got? 14.
Yes.
The 14 congressmen representing the great state of North Carolina.
Yes.
They cannot know what the plights are of all the people. There's
I
no
saw
way.
Ted Bud yesterday.
I would say the House of Representatives has better access to the people.
Well, they got vacation time and they got smaller
They
districts.
passed it.
And I think that's why we always called it the People's House.
Yes.
You know, it was being separate from the Senate, that they were more in tune with the population, but that's kind of fizzled out as well.
I think the Senate was the step between the House and the president. That's kind of what it was. And the Congress, the House had to represent the people.
Well, real quick, I've got a fact for you, and this is, and it says that Congress has passed all of its required appropriation measures on time only 4 times in the past 40 years, which was 1977, 89, 95, and 97.
Yeah.
4 times in the last 40 years have they passed it on time.
Again, I want to just point one thing out. As far as I'm concerned, the primary mission of those 535 souls on board, don't abbreviate that. Don't say what I said. Those souls on board
Got it.
have one primary mission, and that's to keep our government running. And to do that, they've got to pass a budget. You got all freaking year to do it. If you got time to take vacation, then you're not, and you can't get this done on time, then you have failed miserably.
Yeah.
Miserably. Can you imagine? Oh, well, you don't know me that well, but can you imagine me being your news director and you don't get your job done on time? Do you know what is going to happen to you? You're replaced.
Yeah. Well, and I don't know if this matters, but this actually kind of goes back to all, through several presidents, but they're supposed to be the mediators at this point.
Supposed to be.
And I would criticize every president since 1997 at this point that they haven't done a good job of mediating, I would think, or to try and get this stuff into the train on time.
How about prior to 97? Because what was it? Even Reagan had they didn't get the budget in time on Reagan. They were
Twice.
They were pretty much every president
Yeah.
has failed. If
Yeah.
that's the case.
Yeah.
And it's going to be that
Yeah.
way and get worse and worse and worse and worse until our people can work together, which we know that's not going to happen. So,
Well,
kumbaya.
in 97, that would have been Bill Clinton, right?
Yep.
Right. Yes.
Was the last time it passed, and that was also the
I
last
think we
time we
said-
had a balanced budget.
Jimmy,
I think we need to bring back Monica.
Ronald Reagan, Jimmy Carter, Bill. What?
She helped him get it passed. Apparently.
So many ways I could take that and go with that, but I am not going
Take it
to.
the way I meant
Because
it.
we are way past time.
Yeah, we got to go.
Yep. Thank you,
Sorry,
guys. I
Thank you,
appreciate you
Steve.
giving me all this time this morning. Y'all
Later.
have a blessed day.
Bye.
You too.
Okie dokie. What we got tomorrow?
Tomorrow we have, of course, the one and only
Yeah.
Chris Miller with his
Yeah.
Downey's Prep report. And I went in this morning to look at his predictions for this Friday night, but I couldn't get in. So, Chris, I'll look at it later because I'd like to know.
I
what he's
want to
got
know.
say.
I got this email from Max Preps or whatever it's called.
Yes, yes.
And I got this thing that says, these are the rankings and the Cardinals, check your Cardinals out what they're
Yes.
I don't know where they're rated.
Well, I was watching.
I don't know how it is.
Sports news and
Y'all
one of
Miller's going to have to explain that to me.
one of the local
How
channels.
do we rate?
I was looking at these sports report, and they had Jacksonville listed as number 1 in our division. I was like, "What?" What?
Yeah, I think that's one of the things. And then it was 8th here and 9th there and
Yes,
42nd here. And I don't know
He
what.
can explain it because I know it's more than just the class that you're in. So
Yeah.
I'm like,
So he's got a lot of explaining to do to
Yes,
me,
he does.
for me tomorrow.
and then we have a Megan Carter that will be in tomorrow also at 8 a.m. and she's going to tell us all about the upcoming
She's
Onslow County Fair.
I understand she is Jimmy Carter's niece. Is that correct?
Don't start stuff, Rayford.
Yeah.
She could be.
Yeah, I think for sure that she is. So maybe,
Well,
maybe we'll check it out on TV tonight. They'll verify it for us, won't they?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
sure.
Meanwhile, you're live and local.
Yep.
There's madness to my meanness.
I'll be listening.
Madness to my meanness. You're live and
I know
local.
what you're
Real
saying.
talk.
All right.
Where we're awake, not awoke. And we'll say, oh, Chris is out today. Did we say why?
No, Chris is out. He's helping an older woman move, and so he's out transporting and moving furniture and stuff. And thank you, Chris. That's so sweet.
That is nice.
And he should be back tomorrow.
He's one of those guys. Next time I
Yeah,
have
he's
to move,
one of
I'm going
those
to call him.
guys. Yeah, if you need somebody to climb up on the roof, I think you should call Chris.
Gotcha. I need somebody up on the roof.
Sorry.
Up on the roof. He could sing the songs too, isn't there? There was a song about that, about the Drifters, right?
I think it was something to do with the boardwalk.
That was under the boardwalk and
Under-
up on the roof. Yeah.
That
You're
might-
live and
isn't
local
that
real
Christmas
talk. We'll see you in the morning. Bye.